Yo, so Wuthering Waves just dropped a ton of news on us. Wuthering Waves has had a bit of a rocky launch. There's been a little bit of bugs and things like that for some players. I personally haven't experienced literally any issue whatsoever with the game, but I know that a lot of players have, especially mobile players. So this information is going to be talking about how they're improving upon systems, how they're going to be compensating players. We're going to be getting Radiant Tides. We're literally going to be getting pulls. We're literally going to be getting a free 5-star selector. It's awesome. This is very, very good. This is very great that we're getting like communication from the developers about this kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and dive in. This is actually on the YouTube official for the English side of things. I originally heard that this was posted on Bilibili first. And even when I went to check the Wuthering Waves official for the global, it wasn't even there yet. So I was just going to use Bilibili and use Google Translate and kind of show you guys like the information there. But let's go ahead and just jump in straight to this, because this post actually tells us basically the TLDR of what everyone wants to know. There's a link here that takes us to some more detail. We'll go into that in just a sec. But if you're only here to find out the general gist of things, let's just go ahead and take a look at this first. So, dear Rovers, after yesterday's post, we have some new updates to share with you regarding our future plans for game improvements. Man, could you imagine if I used that Dragon Ball Z voice for the rest of the video? Man, how cringe. Anyways, we plan to make every type of story content skippable in future updates, giving you control of your gameplay. Most of the story content will become skippable in an upcoming update. The companion story for Resonator Yinlin will be available in-game soon. We will further enhance the in-game combat experience for more satisfying gameplay. We will be giving out Radiant Tides times 10 and a free standard 5-star Resonator. So that's actually huge. We're going to literally be able to choose any 5-star off the standard banner that we want as a result of a token of gratitude for our continued support. For more details, we can go to this link here. Let's just quickly break this down for people, just in case people were curious about this. We plan to make every type of content, so basically, yeah, it's very right here in plain sight. They're planning to make everything skippable. Only some things are skippable right now. Some people just simply aren't there for the story. They're just there for the combat. So that's really good for players to know. So that's their plan. And some of the Yinlin companion quests, by the way, won't be skippable at the start, just so that you guys know. The fine details were in this. I already read some of this before I started jumping on this. I'm a little bit late to this news. I had to help out my dad, so I wasn't able to put this video up right away, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the Yinlin Resonator story quest will be ready to go before she actually releases in the game. So you can kind of get to know if you like that character or not. That way you're ready to go on her release. That way you don't pull for the character if you're not interested in them. Or if you become excited about the character because you like them from the story quest, you can do this story quest and you can end up, finding out if you like that character or not. And unfortunately, it won't be skippable at first, but they are planning to add skippable like cutscenes for that quest in the coming time. I don't know how long it will take them to get that. I don't know if they'll fix it before it launches. It might only become skippable after she comes out in the game, etc., etc. I don't even think they're 100% sure on that one quite yet. Anyways, let's move forward. And they'll further enhance the combat systems in the game. I read in this Bilibili post here that they're working on the camera for combat, because on PC, it's not that big of a deal. You can just change your settings and you can actually just move your mouse around really quickly. It's not that big of a deal. But on mobile, a lot of players are complaining that they're not able to, I guess you could say, like the camera doesn't automatically move often enough for them. So they're going to try to improve upon the combat system, not the combat system, but the way the camera and the way that you actually like the combat experience is, by probably moving the camera around. It's almost like the Dark Souls Elden Ring thing, how you're fighting the camera rather than you're fighting the enemy. It's been kind of like that for some players, and they want to improve upon that system. So let's go ahead and take a look at this link. I've already opened it up here. So let's go ahead and just read this whole entire thing in all of its glory. Regarding gameplay issues and our future improvement plans. Dear Rovers, we've been paying close attention to feedback from players all over the globe and regarding any gameplay issues that may have arisen. So any criticisms you guys have, please let them know, because they want to know what they are. Please let them know so they can fix it. This is a developer that actually gives a damn, and they want to help improve the game. We're committed to continuously fixing these issues through hotfixes. So they're not releasing like patches or anything like that yet, but they're going to release like hotfixes in order to improve some of this stuff before the next patch comes out. If this was Hoyoverse, they'd take note of all this stuff, they'd start working on it, and they'd wait 3 weeks to 6 weeks to release it in the next major patch. they wouldn't even do it in the mid-patch. They'd wait straight up a month and a half to change this stuff. These guys are trying to change it right away. I've even already noticed some hot fixes that they've already done. Anyways, to express our sincere apology, we'll be issuing another compensation, Radiant Tide times 10, later, probably tomorrow. But if you're on the global side of things, I believe that we're supposed to be getting these later tonight, or maybe in the morning of tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure on the exact, it depends on where you live when you'll get these, but it's either today or tomorrow. That's the shortest way I can put it. And by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but Radiant Tide times 10, that's the premium ticket. That's not the standard banner ticket. I even noticed this during the Billy thing. I've heard people say that it's these floating gold ripples are actually standard banner pulls, but I don't think that's actually true. I mean, you read this here, it says Radiant Tide times 10, and on their official, like, improvement, on their website itself, it says Radiant Tide times 10. So I think we're actually going to be getting 10 premium tickets. By the way, they already gave us 10 regular standard banner tickets yesterday. So they've given us 20 tickets in total, and they're going to give us a 5-star resonator. I'm super excited about this. Let's keep moving forward. I'm sorry, that was me, by the way, not you guys, because I need to free up space on my computer, as usual. So, scope of the compensation, rovers who have reached Union Level 2 or above by the June 3rd will be able to get this. So, new players should be able to get this resonator, okay? So just start playing the game, and by the time you finish the first tutorial, you'll be able to get this stuff, okay? In addition to the list of known issues, there are corresponding improvement plans that we shared yesterday. We would also like to share our future plans of addressing a few other key concerns. One, optimize the skip function. We have received your feedback regarding the skip function, including not enough skippable cutscenes. UI design of the skips is not very pleasing. The design of the skip button not readable enough, and the main story is feeling kind of lengthy. And so if the main story feels kind of lengthy, they want to be able to skip it, is basically what's going on. And my advice to Kuro Games, if I can give any advice, if you guys ever see this video for whatever reason, I did just apply for the content creator program, the one that just went up. I didn't apply for the first one. I only applied to this one. If I end up getting that, by the way, I'll let you guys know about it. But if I can get in contact with them, I'll let them know. They need to make, like, as much of the main story voice acted cutscenes as possible. That is what causes the players to really enjoy the story. If you have to end up reading in an open world, live service, very heavily invested game with endless content, it gets kind of overwhelming to have to read every single bit of story. Some people complain about Final Fantasy XIV having that type of problem, where a lot of the story is found through red text rather than cutscenes. But that's why the best cutscenes in Final Fantasy are all really good, and they're all voice acted. So that's what we want from this game. Voice act as much as possible. Invest into voice acting, Kuro Games. Wuthering Waves story is actually not that bad, but we need to make sure the voice acting's on point. So anyways, 1. Redesign the skip function button. 2. Largely increase the skippable scenes in the main quest storylines, including the prologue and chapter 1. 3. Support the skipping of character dialogues outside of cutscenes and cinematics. By the way, all the launch people like myself, we weren't able to skip a lot of this stuff. So if you still haven't started the game and you're still on the fence about it, just be aware that by the time you probably start playing the game, these things will be improved upon, because they're planning to fix this very, very soon, like very as quickly as possible. They can't even tell us a time, because as soon as they fix it, they're going to just put it into the game. Due to technical constraints, we're unable to support the skipping of cutscenes right now. Sorry for any negative experience this may bring. We appreciate your understanding. So they are having some limitations technically with some cutscenes. They're not able to implement some things right off the bat, but they will implement them over time. Optimize the combat experience. With regard to the issues that frequently come up in the feedback of rovers, including the lack of signification of combat actions, lack of visual feedback of action impacts, poor controller combat experience, and visual blockage during the combat by environmental objects, we have scheduled dedicated optimization of different combat scenes with the goal of improving the positive feedback for players in the combat experience. Additionally, we are also working on improving the functional support of controllers and expediting the support of customized buttons of controllers. Sorry, my mouth is a little bit dry. I'm talking like an idiot right now. Anyways, Additional custom 5-star standard resonator give back convene event. Well, before we go into that, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is gonna, a lot of this combat stuff will be fixed by them just adjusting how the camera works. When the camera moves around, and the camera doesn't move around that much in the game unless you move it around yourself, but mobile players, for example, aren't able to do this as well, and controller players probably don't have as much control as a PC like keyboard and mouse player will. It's pretty obvious that this game was probably made with keyboard and mouse in mind and then implemented to controller and mobile after the fact. It is, after all, a combat heavily based game, so that's probably where their mind was at when they were doing that type of thing. So they're probably going to adjust things by moving the camera and improving how the camera works. That's the way I'm looking at this right now. And they will work on the functionality of controller support, because let's be honest, they did not have controller support right away. The controller support is something very, very new that they added to the game. It was only added recently, so they're still working on it, so give them some time. Anyways, additional custom 5-star standard resonator give back convene event. This is for the 5-star resonator. After the launch, we have received much feedback across all platforms and channels regarding the beginner choice convene. We are deeply sorry for the unsatisfactory experience the event has brought you. Therefore, we plan to issue a special item, a voucher of reciprocal tides, which grants a free chance to obtain one 5-star resonator of your choice via in-game mail on 5/26 UTC plus 8. So tomorrow or today, depending on what time zone you're in, we'll be getting 10 of the special passes, and then the next day we're just gonna simply get a 5-star standard resonator. And we're about to get on day 5. If you're playing, there's a lot of events happening in the game right now. There's a login event. We're gonna get a free character already on the 5th day of playing this game. And we're about to get another free standard 5-star in the mail on, like, what is it, the 3rd day of the game? And then or 3rd or 4th day of the game. And we're gonna get a whole bunch of pulls. We're getting we're getting a ton of stuff. This game reminds me of Nikke. Nikke Goddess of Victory is a shining example of a game that cares about their players, compensates their players very, very well, and proved that you can compensate and give your players a ton of free goodies while still making a very successful, very highly profitable game. Nikke's been around for 1.5 years now, and they don't even exist on the Chinese market, which is the biggest gacha gaming market in the entire world. And they're still a top dog contender. If Wuthering Waves continues to do the things that they're doing and reciprocate their players very, very well, similarly to Nikke, if they basically follow the Nikke strategy of how to take care of your players and please your players, I think that they'll have a lot of success in this space. They could even potentially end up being more successful than Nikke if they continue to improve upon what they have already built right here, which is a really good game at the end of the day. I'm not sponsored by Wuthering Waves, by the way, right now. I am going to see if I can maybe get some type of partnership with them. I just applied for something right now, so I'll let you know if that happens, but I'm someone that tells you guys things the way that it is. I tell it like it is, okay? If there's any problems, I'll let you know. If there aren't problems or if there's good things, I'll also let you know about that too. So I'll be putting out a video shortly after this about some of the launch issues that we've had with the game, so that new players and players that are like questioning whether they want to start playing the game or not can kind of find out things that they might want to know or be aware of before jumping into a game that, you know, can be a bit of an investment of time and money. So anyways, further optimization are scheduled along with more fresh content. We have already scheduled further optimization. By the way, there's not much left here. We've already scheduled further optimizations of the game and development of new functions and gameplay elements down to the pipeline. These include the optimization of the art assets of certain NPCs, a new layered map display function, and more echo transformations. Please stay tuned. So this is actually a really, really short paragraph, but there's actually a lot here. We've already scheduled further optimization of the game in general and development of new functions and gameplay elements down to the pipeline. So they already have a game plan. They're just trying to, you know, finish that game plan out, okay? These include the optimization of the art assets of certain NPCs. So I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like there's, for an example, there's certain NPCs in the game that have like, there's like a fanny pack type of pouch thing that they put over their shoulder. And it's supposed to be kind of like a mini, sort of like almost like a mini backpack type of thing. But it's not 3D. You know what I mean? It's not like, it's part of their clothes. So it looks flat. And in my opinion, that kind of breaks the immersion a little bit. I would have rather them just had a normal shirt than a shirt that has like a fake backpack sort of drawn onto it. You know what I mean? So that's an example of the type of things that I think they mean when they say they're going to optimize the art assets of certain NPCs. So rather than give them a fake backpack that's part of their shirt, you know those guys that walk around like, I think they're merchants or something like that? They have those big, super huge backpacks on their back. They're going to probably make it look like that, like actually a 3D asset on the NPC itself. So that type of stuff, I think, is what they mean by that. A new layered map display function. So they're going to have a layered map. I'm interested to find out what that's going to actually mean. What do they mean by a layered map display functionality? My opinion and my interpretation of this is if you guys have ever played Elden Ring, you know how you can push that button that shows you the above ground map, and then there's also the below ground map. And if there's layers to the world, it'll show you like the above ground versus the below ground, etc., etc. And some places in Wuthering Waves do have caverns and things like that that you can go down into, and I believe that's what they mean. They're going to show you, rather than an item on the map with the arrow that goes down, they'll still show that, but they'll show you a button. By the way, that's me again, sorry about that. They'll show us a button that shows us that type of stuff. So just wanted to let you guys know about that, and we'll be getting more information in the coming days. Please be assured that your voice and feedback are essential to us. If you have any issues, please reach out to the customer support via email at Wuthering Waves, EN support, yada, yada, yada. You get the picture. I'll link you guys some of this stuff in the pinned comment and description below so you guys can go check this out for yourself if you are interested in that. So come check this out. If you guys like Wuthering Waves, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, gacha gaming in general, or just gaming in general, Elden Ring DLC, can't wait, consider leaving a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time, and I'll see you guys in Wuthering Waves. Peace out.